Good morning, this is Mia. Everything on my camera is extremely slow right now. So let's see. I'm just gonna shrink. Shrinking stuff doesn't really help. Oh, it looks like I have my email out twice. Let's just shrink it down. It's like all these commercials popping up. Let's see, is it still slow? This is I'm looking at transition for the clothing series. Wait before now before Memorial Day, after Labor Day is coming up here, guys. I don't even know when. This is it's either from Kohl's or Nordstrom Rack. And I do have a white skirt. I think I'm going to wear it today just to be fun. I haven't shaved in weeks because I keep switching the batteries in my electric razor and it's not turning on. Moment of silence, please, for the people that were housed in the apartment complex downtown Portland, Oregon. Yesterday, the place burned down. It's a shell from what I hear from some of the residents that were on the news. My child was in the area at the time. Thank God it was not the place that my offspring, or other offspring lived. However, it was close to where she spends a lot of the day, at least yesterday. I actually didn't look at a map. But she got sick. And I'm sure the people that were tenants there got real sick. But the smoke, I don't know why the building would not. We talked about some violations of fire doors and stuff. I'm not sure any of that fire safe stuff. They're talking about fire safe ceiling in the basement. So that, because there's a washer and dryer, it looked like they fixed most of the violations the day before. So that's really coincidental. They fixed the violations except for 2, I think. But old buildings, new buildings, electricity, fire, just different things. So I want to talk about housing after I'm going to do the moment of silence for real because that was very short. Hi, this is Mia, sometimes known as Dr. Mia, but I'm not your doctor unless you hire me. Today I'm wearing this tennis dress with no pockets. This doesn't make sense. I could wear some bloomers, there's some spandex under them, but those don't have pockets. I have some that are pants, but they're I had 2 pairs. I think I have a pair of spandex tie-dye that I thought they had a pocket in them. Those are my favorite. I got a pair of other ones that are too small. Like, they make short-butted things. I've gained 10 pounds since a couple weeks ago. Literally. I just gained 2 pounds between yesterday and today. I'm eating fruit. I ate some rest of the watermelon, which was about, I would say the equivalent of like, I don't know, cup. Maybe a cup and a half. I ate that throughout the day though. And I actually shared some with my partner. There's some blueberries, there were some strawberries. I did drink 2 cups of tea with about a tablespoon and a half of honey each. I did have one of those raw food pizza things and a handful of pistachios. I don't even know if I ate them all. I probably did. So I was like falling asleep. I'm gonna reuse the bag. I was coughing and carrying on yesterday. I gotta get on with class soon, guys. I forgot I was gonna pause this and get on the class at 7:50. The keep is from the Goodwill. It was new, but it was really low quality. It does have to be careful putting stuff on. It does look like it gets pulls in it. So the hood I thought wasn't gonna fit, but I put it on. It doesn't really fit though, because it looks silly because the neckline is way up in my face. Maybe just because I have fat. I had a dream like it was in Hyrule. Remember in N64, the Ocarina of Time, Link was in Hyrule Field, I think they called it, and where the chickens, what they call cuckoos, and in the edge, I don't know which edge of the, it's because you're playing the video game. There's the Hyrule Castle, I believe, but there's that bridge that shuts at night, or the, what do you call it? Like a gate thingy? Did you have a castle? I don't know. I don't have a castle yet. Anyways, there's this marketplace. So when you're in the game and it's dark, there's like scary monsters and I don't know if they're ghosts or skeleton ghosts or something. You try to run around there, and then when the sun comes out, this I was calling a moat and a thingy. This thing opens or it closes back up, and then you can walk in, and it's like a festive town and all this stuff. And there's a dog that runs around. There's a part in the back alley that I have yet to beat yet. I can't remember what it was, and I have not beat the part with the cuckoos. I think that's where I'm stuck on. But when I was going to the farmer's market in Bull Mountain Farmer's Market in Tigard, Oregon, off of Southwest, going out of town on 99. Was it 99W? There, so it goes from Barber Boulevard to what is the name of the Pacific Highway. That festival often has music, and then the fruits and vegetables and all the other things. And it's kind of fun in a way. I like it, and it makes me feel like I'm at the market in the show. There's one here, but I don't get that vibe. There's a lot of snobby people in Portland, Oregon, but in this town, I don't know. There's like this vibe of, I don't even know how to use the word besides snobby. I'm in the South. I'm in the southern town. My partner's home compound that he grew up on had slave houses. Guys, slave houses that when his grandfather bought, he removed the houses. I have pictures of the houses and I cannot find them. So speaking of pictures and different heirlooms, the place downtown Portland burned up. They said they were just going to let it do, my child said earlier, let it do what it's going to do. I could read online where they had it go from a 2-alarm, on Twitter, 2-alarm fire to 3-alarm. And then, I don't know, last I read it was 100 firefighters, but I don't know. It changed the water pressure to downtown, which is fine, because if you have your health, your life, your pets, my heart breaks for people, everything they own in that building. My heart breaks for the people that just moved there, which they interviewed someone that had lived there for many years. All your stuff is in there. All your heirlooms, all your pictures on the wall, your electronics, your work stuff, your tax stuff, your cats and your dogs, your guinea pig, your birds, your fish, everything is wiped out in a couple hours. They said all the windows were burning out, bulging out, or blowing out, exploding and billowing out smoke. It's just so sad. I wanted to cry. I probably did cry, to tell you the truth, but it's been an emotional time. This thing is like, it's fine with the hood, but I don't like it. I don't like it going up like that. Like, little silver riding hood. So, I imagined when my brother was having the fire, where he was taking care of my dog in a duplex or apartment, like a house that was apartments. I only know that there was 2 tenants, so I guess it was a flex. Not sure if there's anyone under them or over them, but the one apartment burnt, and his didn't get burnt, but it did get the smoke inhalation. He was not able to live there. He did have to go. I don't know if it might have got water damage. He did have to go. He had my dog, so my dog survived. He did go to the Red Cross, and then he ended up getting a bill from the Red Cross when this event happened. So I'm gonna have to. My phone's not charged. I wanted to clean my whole house while I listen to this class, and then I wake up and realize that I'm my phone's not charged. So because I'm in a home with someone else, I'm not necessarily having my volume on all the time, but I had the over the ear things. You've seen me. Whew, those really hurt my ears with all that stuff, and they make them so small. It like crunches up my earrings. I got like damage in my body because of these devices. And instead of just like having something on a TV or having it come through a speaker, and then I'm trying to do the golden rule too, but it is a lot of time that I would like to do housekeeping, dishes and stuff. In the old place where my kids are, I was able to kind of clean and do things and try to turn music on while I clean the kitchen, and I've had my kids react and be really upset. So it's really hard. I mean, one thing, if I know that I can't be alone in my house for half an hour a year, I need to get some decent earphones or something. Lightweight, wireless, Bluetooth maybe. Instead, I keep getting wireless, not Bluetooth. Actually, I do have the Bluetooth. What do you guys do when you have that situation and everyone around you's got sensory issues and you don't like hearing their stuff blasting? But when my kids were in daycare and in grade school, I could at least a couple times a year during the breaks, if I were to get out early, because we had exams instead of classes all day. We still had clinic shifts and stuff, but if there was a day or two that the kids were in daycare, I wanted them to have a holiday too. But there was several times that I'd come home and be home before them and go shopping and make them sandwiches and bring them a snack or a meal right after school. So we were traveling a lot. And what do you do when you have that? That time that I used to turn on the radio and start cleaning, and it'd be like 25-30 minutes. And then I would just turn everything off, grab my purse, and go and get my kids. But that 30 minutes, 2-3 times a year, was a sanity builder. Having a lot of stuff going on around you 24 hours a day. I know there's parents that have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids. People coming in and out all the time. But how do they get their sanity? I mean, people have their kids all in school at once, or they have the older ones going out to work or different things, and partner maybe going out to work, or maybe they're going out to work so they don't get home time alone. I'm trying to be joyful with again, thinking of these tragedies. I'm trying to be joyful and grateful for what I do have, but I'm also heartbroken. I want to honor those people that are having these celebrations and different things, like my class, the neonatal resuscitation. But speaking of that, let me get on my class. It is starting in a couple of minutes. Hold on. Hello, I'm back. I was answering 15 questions for the pre-test, so now I'm like, ooh, that took a long time. And I hate that when they tell you, oh, you can log in a few minutes early. I'm like, oh, good, that means I can make sure to find the email, but I frequently forget about these pre-tests. I did the neonatal resuscitation course through Karen Strange online teachable course. I need to go back and review some things, but I did complete it. I did not see a certificate, so I got to look and see even if I have the continuing education for 2 different sections, because I did take quizzes for both of those. Then I had to go to the NRP website and take their course for $45. I took the advanced. There's a lot of issues. People talk about risk of taking the advanced versus basic class. I took the advanced. I found out every time I took NRP or at OHSU, it was 3 times I took that one and 1 time that I took Karen Strange's. So this is the 5th time I've taken this course. That's a lot of money. I didn't have any money, as you guys heard a couple of months ago when I registered for the class. I said, let me get the book. I found the book on eBay. The book that I wanted was gone. There was a second one that it was best offer. They took the best offer, but the book was printed in India, so I was scared. The ends was crushed up, and I saw a bunch of the same type of bubble wrap with the picture on it all over the internet, and I was like, oh no. And I said, you know what? I tried to contact the NRP before this to tell them, so if you buy 2 books, if you buy their paper book and you get the digital copy, you get 15% off or something. So I had bought the 7th edition at least twice, and I bought all the other ones, and I didn't have the coupon because I bought them at separate times. So I tried to ask, can I get some kind of discount code? And they're like, what question are you asking? Because my question got forwarded to someone. So I'm pretty upset about that. Because I didn't feel like, I'm like, everything is just written. I could have copied and pasted. Hold on. Okay, this is just the introduction. I had to go back over the slides though. So I said, let me get the book. I don't have any money, but I need to pay for all this stuff. And I haven't. I contacted people about returning it, even though they said no returns. But they basically, their copy has typos. The pages all fell out last night while I did the class. So you open the book up once, you have the book open for an hour, and all the pages come out. There's typos. The pictures look funky, but I passed the test, and I'm pretty upset. And I contact the person, and they're like, oh, so the pages come out? That's why you're saying it's bootleg? And I was like, and there's typos, and it's printed in India. So I had that before. They're like, this is an Amazon return. I had an Amazon book, and I got it. And the picture and the ISBN were US. When I got the book, it was a different color. And the ISBN popped up. And a note inside, which I noticed because I was trying to sell the book back. It said that this was printed in India and only used for South Asian markets, not to be sold in North America at all. So North America or Europe probably, Mexico, US, Canada. I was so upset, and I actually, because of a counterfeit book, I actually lost my entire Amazon account for sellers, the free account, because I took too long. I was going to sell my books, but it took too long to sell anything, and the reason I took too long is because A, I bought counterfeit stuff off there, and they lied to me, and B, I was trying to be extra careful on researching all of my material that I set aside to sell try to sell it before the new edition came out, or everything turned digital. When you're a student, if you could sell it right after your class, it could be easier to get a couple bucks, more than a couple bucks, not what you paid, but more than $2 or $3, which I hate selling books for $2 or $3. That's just rude. Unless you absolutely know it's 10 years out of date. Sometimes there's no other books made, and then that book becomes pretty rare. Anyway, I've been through it all, and I'm tired of scammers. I am tired of getting scammed. I'm tired of the money that I didn't even have, that I already put on a credit card. That may or may not, probably didn't, but it could have accrued interest. So that I could take a class to keep my license, my medical licenses, and to keep this skill of saving a baby's life. I could not afford the hundreds and hundreds of dollars that it's costing me to take this class. And as a doctor, I don't even get paid because for some reason insurance, I don't know, there's not sending out checks. So I'm getting pretty disappointed. I do have some people that are on HMO, and that may have been a blunder there. So I have to bump it up with my admin work. What's the date? So I have about a week, I was going to say a week and a half. I have about 3 weeks to have a huge thing coming up. And then from this week to next week, it's going to be pretty book solid. So that'll give me 2 weeks to catch up. So it's going to be like school, you just got to do it. Excuse me. Going back, hold on. This is a very special class, so I'm going to make sure to take it. I want to make sure to keep some kind of charger in my device. I could just switch it out. I do have an appointment today too, so I got to jump in the shower and try to shave. It's nice and warm everywhere right now anyways, so the clothing would be not relevant because I was going against the grain when I was against my mom when she talked about wearing white only. during the summertime, and I am seeing too many people outside wearing white. Um, so I was like, oh, I don't think they were that old-fashioned, in particular, like my mom was. And there is the video a couple weeks ago where I said that I would do a handmade clothing series to switch it up, because it is almost Memorial Day. So because I only have like one homemade piece, unless I turn every project that I'm working on into a crocheted top. I have one right here. See if I can grab it without falling down. This shirt, I also felt scammed. It was like $35 or something. And the lady said it would fit like a large, like 1X, 2X, 3X. She said she was really big and that she tries these clothes on, which is kind of creepy. So you have to wash it when you get it. And this does not cover my front really. I was thinking that it would have a little more coverage around the chest. It is cute. It's a good idea. This lady probably spent like 20 minutes making this, but I wanted to support a local business, so I have shared her channel, or Hand on Spanky's Crochet. I don't know if it's boutique, because she has her stores and she has her social media. I wanted to buy something from her again, and then I think, oh yeah, I did get my kids some Christmas gifts again, trying to support a local business. I gotta get on this class. I get to get on this class. I have a DEA, and I'm so grateful to be able to have this class. I need to sit in it, make sure I take all the pre-test and post-test and surveys, and keep track of everything, because there are some courses that are more sponsored. I feel like they say, oh, is this commercial? It's like you're talking about like 10 different kinds of pharmaceutical drugs. In my mind, that's commercial. You're not saying go outside and get a plant like I would as a naturopath, or go to the pharmacy. Having a choice, it's like 100% standard of care. These drugs that is from a pharmaceutical company, and often the events are sponsored by the same pharmaceutical companies, and I feel like that's really commercial, but they're not necessarily allowed to be like, hey, take this name brand of medication, like, and show the bottle. They can say all they want about the generic brands and the dosing and all that stuff, which is important, because that's the reason we have the medications, to help people, right? Even if there are risk and side effects. I like having all the tools in my toolbox as a ND to be able to have integrative healthcare, and I'm extremely limited on the medications I can prescribe, although not completely limited. So I'm going to contact all my local pharmacies and set up some accounts so that I can prescribe the life-changing meds that I can prescribe until we are able to do more prescribing rights. I do have the dream that was really weird. Going around this. So I ended up in the pizza place, and I don't know if I own the pizza place or what. And there was these 3 young ladies, and they had super short skirts, like the kind that just go to like the crease behind your buttocks. And they were working and like moving around the store and doing stuff. And I believe they came from some kind of event or something. In the dream, my partner came in, and these girls were like doing all this stuff, and some of them were like kind of like trying to dance in front of him, and I was getting really upset. And he's by the front door with the glasses, and he runs out for a minute, so I thought that he was uncomfortable or fleeing them. But I had heard one of the young ladies say like, oh, there's a man. So there was a suspicious looking man that had run between the buildings or something. He actually went out to go keep an eye on that. And it was so intense. It's like, again, one of those dreams that feels like you're really there. And somehow there was another group of people. I feel like it was an Asian young woman, and a guy, a man. And they were trying to get out of this compound. You know, it feels like a market, feels like you're free. It's like doing the strawberries. So there's people that were slaves that got whipped, probably on that same piece of property. as slaves to do that for, 18 hours a day. Anytime, day or night, even if you're delivering a baby, or every day, I meant to say, except for Sunday. Any weather is what I meant to say, hot or cold. I guess it's not that cold, but raining, hot, sunny. What do you do when... Sorry, I have the closed captions on. I'm going to have to keep just looking up and trying to keep this charged. What do you do when you pay money but you can leave? You're paying money. You can leave. You're not enslaved. But for some reason in the story, it was like... There was like this event was going on where there was danger or collapse, and we were like hanging out with these other people, and there seemed to be, it looked like an event or a market or a city where you can come in and out at will, or small town or whatever, but there was all these blockages where you couldn't really get out, and everyone else was just like having the time of their lives, oh, this is this. There's people praying, and there was different things. When you end up going to like trying to be like, okay, come on this way, I got a way out. And there's something we stumbled upon, or I don't know, I don't know if it wasn't this, but it's like, say there was a movie theater, oh, I want to see this movie, or it was something like we stumbled upon, and we had to keep going on our trip, on our mission, get to our goal, get to safety, and everyone else was oblivious to whatever was going on and did not have the desire. Like, there's people like standing up in meditation, rocking back and forth. And I saw one of my friends, and I looked back in I think it's like direction was weird. I looked back and saw this tall lady, older lady, behind a bunch of other people that were kind of rocking back and forth in meditation. And we just had to like keep running, right? When I went to write about this, right before I logged on to my class and to you guys, I felt this I just remember that I had a Groupon for my business. I had 0 people call me from the Groupon. Anyways, I felt this, forgot about that. Someone got a lot of their business through that. I felt this, high roll. There's a bowling alley or something, like archery. There's like a bunch of fun stuff on the video game. And there's markets and stuff. In real life and in video game life, there was my partner, my ex-husband's game was, last I checked, my kids might have erased it, but he had got to a certain level on the Ocarina of Time for the same area that I keep talking about. And when you turn on his game, darkness had come over that world. He had the level where, I don't know, what was it, Ganon? I played the old Zeldas in the 80s. Ganon, or some kind of dark spirit. So the town, everything was dark and red. The sky was just darkened and red. Everything was in crumbles and chaotic. So spoilers, sorry, I should have said that. When I thought about my dream, and we were running from something, and we were, my partner was not getting distracted by these girls wearing their many things, and real skinny bodies and long, shiny, bright hair. But it was the other things that were going on, and him like waiting to pick me up or waiting to escort me out of the danger zone where everybody was happy and they looked safe, but there was some urgency to get us out. I had put this on. I was looking for my other pineapple dress, and I put this on, and I felt like an oracle or something. And I'm gonna try to see if I can do something about the hood, though. See if I can make it bigger. Or just make this into a collar and put a completely separate hood on, like silk. That would be a good idea. Anyways, maybe it wouldn't be a good idea. But anyways, I did cut some silk, and I had enough to put a piece over my hair if I needed to go to a formal event, like my own wedding or something. Yeah, I laugh. I didn't say I was getting married. I said if. I was in a group about self-marriage, and there was a wedding ceremony for ourselves. Just one person. Consider doing that one. I might actually consider doing that and making a pact with myself, which I don't do a lot, but I had done some pacts that involved sobriety and cleanliness, off drugs and alcohol. Anyways, that's a different story. I want to get back to my day. I saw the vision of what is in this video game, and I went and I said, hey, we got to get out of here. We have to get our own land. We have to get our own home. I might be able to afford a little 300 Boxable, 300 square feet, $50,000 Boxable home. If you look on their website, they have cabins, they have apartments, they have these different things. What I need is a piece of land and a place to put something, which is a place to put something on, which will go with the code of whatever jurisdiction I'm in. And so I was getting up, I only got up a little bit this morning so far, including weighing myself at 186, which is really high, considering I'm eating fruit and a little bit of nuts, some sodium, but it's not, maybe it is excessive. It's not that excessive amount of sodium, but I'm gonna have to cut it out. I'm watching 600-pound life, and I'm almost 200 pounds, so I'm 14 pounds from being 200, and I rapidly have gained weight. In 2 weeks, I've gained 15 pounds before, off and on this past year. Anyways, this is a different story. There was an urgency in me getting a piece of land and coming up with a scenario for you guys, which I've already come up with a scenario where I am the main character in my little fiction or historical, I want to say historical fiction, but like present life fiction, like real time historical fiction. So based on me, where I don't tell my relatives, my loved ones, and I go and throw down payment on a piece of land, have it financed. I go and we travel to the land, continue the process of getting a tiny home or any kind of home put onto this. I just looked at this Boxable, and they're talking about how it can attach to any structure, so they could have like a house or garage where they could attach this. And some places you can have an ADU, something dwelling unit. I don't know what the A stands for. And that is typically someone who has their regular house on a plot of land, and then another one that kind of turns into a mother-in-law's cabin or Airbnb or different things. Somebody did that. They bought a house. I think they owned it. I don't know if she owned it. It was African American, and she ended up building the tiny house and then renting out the front. I don't think she sold the front, but renting out the front to somebody else, her big house. So there's different ideas like that. Do I want to live in a tiny home? No, I wanted to live in a really big house that had really good energy efficiency, that had really new electricity, that had really good water, that was on the waterfront. That's where I want to live, with a bunch of land and a place to have horses and sheep and stuff. That's what I really wanted. Why am I looking at, a third of an acre or an acre or 3 with basically a modular home that just folds out? It's a box that comes and folds out, and you hook up the electric and you hook up the water, and it's got all everything in it already. I don't know if they just deliver it and you unfold the oven and the stove, but I guess the lights and everything are already there. I'm not sure if they have lofts for the sleeping area, because again, it's only like the size of a room, like of a living room. So I'm on the wait list for 2 of those, but I'm not on the official wait list, and I just got a survey from them, and I said that I wanted this in 365 days or more. I want to change that to less than 365 days. There's got to be some way that we can make this work if they actually have a payment plan for $262 a month, so you reach your $50,000, and then I want to and then I want the land for both, and then I want to have the money in the bank for the delivery fee from Texas. So this is my United States. I don't know if this shows up mirror image. This is Florida. This is the East Coast. This is the West Coast. I need to go from Texas to the West Coast, and I needed to go from Texas to the East Coast. That's about as far as you can get, except for the way up here, or Alaska, Canada. So that's a problem. I had considered going somewhere, Arizona or something closer to Texas, and practicing medicine just so that I didn't have to have it delivered. And how much is the delivery fee? A, and B, if I moved to Arizona and opened my naturopath license, or New Mexico, and I ended up putting it there, can I move it to the mid-Atlantic states, or to the Pacific Northwest? Once it's opened up and put together, can I pack it back down and stick it on the truck like you would a trailer, with or without a single wide home, with or without the wheels? Those ones can come on wheels. So those are different things. If you look at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm, Southern Oregon, somewhere southern-ish Oregon, this man does a whole bunch of how a poor man can get land. I tried to follow this route, and I called every county, and I was trying to sign up for stuff. Look for these videos, and he did have a lot of friends. He was also living in a fifth wheel or something with a family with 2 kids, 2 teenagers, and his wife. So it's not like, and he was able to get some space, and a friend had some land. He was able to store a double wide or a manufactured home, and somehow he was able to live in these RVs until he got his land on auction. He has 2 versions, last I checked, of how can a poor man own land. I tried the same thing, and I was shut down pretty much. And I did even contact a lawyer who could draw up the paperwork. And so I just wanted to let you know about another channel and the talk about fire, where he lives in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere. He's got a whole farm. If your place catches on fire, you are responsible, unless your fire is spreading to a protected forest. Then they'll come. So you could watch everything burn up. I don't even know if the person's in danger, if they're on the 2nd floor and can't get out. Just the fire department's like, too bad you're on your own. So look for those kind of things. Talk to neighbors. They did lose the entire barn and their livestock. They had to rebuild. There are places where if you don't pay a fire tax, they won't protect your structure. I see this sometimes in trailer parks and stuff, certain rural areas. If you're not able to afford that extra tax every year, they let your place burn. They do come and watch it burn, and they have that. If your neighbors is starting to catch and they pay their tax, then they'll start to do something to protect those people who paid it. So I do have some mail and stuff from the volunteer fire department. So prayers about, again, I haven't gotten paid for my job in months, and I'm getting really scared that the insurance stopped paying me, and I'm like, so I'm getting co-pays and stuff, which is a change, but that's like 1/10 or 10%, 15% of the total, which is better than nothing. But you can't walk out of $200 worth of groceries and only pay $15. Come on now, guys. The store's going to go broke so fast. But by the miracle and grace of my higher power, I would like to thank my higher power for what we do have and our safety for today, and hopefully into tomorrow, and definitely for the past. And I'm going to pray about if I can scrape up $10, which I should be able to do, but prayerfully send that, because I don't think there's a regular fire department here, to tell you the truth. I think it's 100% volunteer, and there's a lot of people here. I'll look it up and let you know. There's a lot of people in this town. why don't they have a regular fire department? And the other place, this is the old-fashioned place. I like to do that. Old-fashioned with modern day. And with that, I'm going to take my class. Peace.